everybody, I'm Stacy.
And I'm Lauren.
And we're Two Fit Chicks. Today we're going to be talking about the difference between a traditional squat and a plie. We use the plies in our bar workout videos, and we use the squats in our functional fitness videos. So the bar videos with the plie, that comes from the ballet world, and then the functional fitness is just your traditional squat that you'll see done by personal trainers and other functional fitness disciplines. So we're going to talk about that real quick for you so you know the difference.
Both definitely have their benefits and their advantages.
Absolutely. So for our first squat, we're going to be standing with your feet hip distance apart. So your ankles are going to fall right underneath your hip bones. We usually think of that as a little bit wider than it actually is. So make sure that your ankles are right underneath your hips. You're going to pull your abs up, and then you will sit your butt back like you're about to sit in a chair, making sure that your knees don't go out in front of your toes. That's super important for knee safety. So as you come with your butt down towards the floor, you keep your chest lifted with your abs pulled in and up, and then come back up. So from the other direction, I'll show you what it looks like from this side. So again, ankles right underneath the hip bones. Your abs are pulled in and up. You sit your seat back like you're going to be in a chair. Knees stay back behind your big toe, and your chest is nice and proud. And then you just push it right back up. So that's your squat number one. Squat number two is called a sumo squat. So you're going to stand with your feet wider than hip distance apart. Again, hold your abs nice and tight up. And then again, you'll squat your seat back down towards the floor, back behind your heels, making sure that your knees don't go in front of your toes. I cannot reiterate that enough. You do not want your knees to go out in front of your toes. And then proud chest, abs in and up, come back up. That's your sumo squat. Now, if you can go super low, fantastic. I've got some back stiffness issues and a couple of knee problems, so I tend to stay a little bit higher in my sumo squat. But if your body is nice and loose and no issues, you can go down as low as you possibly can and challenge yourself. So from the other direction, feet are wider than hip distance apart, abs are in and up. Sit your seat back behind your heels, knees don't go past your toes. Proud chest, abs are still in and up, and then come back up. Last one for the squat is a closed parallel squat. So you will have your feet as close together as possible. You will squeeze your inner thighs together, and then again, sit your seat back down behind, abs in and up, knees are not out in front of your toes, chest is proud, go down as far as you can, and then come back up. Again from the side.
This one's definitely my favorite because you get a lot of inner thigh and booty action going on at the same time.
Absolutely. So all of these work your whole thigh.
Lower body.
Yes, your whole lower body. So your thighs, your glutes, you're working your abs by holding them nice and tall. So you're getting a full workout doing this, but it's really focusing on your quads and glutes. So inner outer thighs, quads, hamstrings, glutes. All right, so from the side, closed parallel, really squeeze your legs together. As you come down, sit your seat back, knees are back behind your toes, abs are in and up, chest is proud, come down as low as you can, and then come back up. Those are your squat choices, so just find what works for you best. They all work something a little bit differently, so definitely interchange them throughout your workouts, and you'll have a nice toned lower body. Lauren's going to talk about the plie, and I'm going to slip my shoes off because we definitely want to make sure that during squats, if we're in a gym setting or if we're using weights, you want to wear your athletic shoes. We're not using weights today, so Lauren's perfectly fine doing this without shoes, but all of our plies, we want to make sure that we are without shoes to get that full ankle
articulation.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I'm handing over to Lauren.
All right, so plies are great. We are equal opportunists with all lower body exercise, and the more variations, that's why we're giving you different options today, the more you can do, the more muscles you'll work, so you do get a nice, pretty toned leg and strong muscles, and then you're not just strengthening one thing over and over and over again. People say, oh, what's the difference between a squat and a plie, and what the heck, is that just for dancers? I am not a ballerina, yet I do plies all the time. So what it all really means is the hip position. So you noticed in our squats, we sat backwards, so that really works your gluteus maximus. Now, with plies, we're going to keep your hips neutral. So, here in the studio, we use a bar. At home, you can use a countertop, Or in second position, which is actually where we're going to start because I think it's a little bit easier to access, you might not need anything at all. So we're going to stand with our legs nice and wide. Okay, so difference number 2 is that your toes will turn out. So a lot of the squat variations Stacy just showed us, we had our feet straight ahead. You want your knees to line up with that second and third toe for safety. So I don't want to see any collapsing. That just looks painful. Now, hips are upright, and when you lower down, this is a little bit more inner thigh, and then also these little outer thigh muscles. That's really the difference between this and the sumo squat that Stacy just showed. You get these little outer guys. And then squeeze all the way up. So we'll just do one more. Lower down, squeeze it up. And I'm completely upright. I didn't do the shift back. So we'll turn to the side so you see what that looks like. Hips are completely neutral. Once again, if you need a countertop or bar at home, you can certainly use that to lower. Make sure everything's nice and tall. I'm not tucking. You know, sometimes I've been to bar classes where they say, tuck your pelvis. That's not a good position for your low back. You just want your hips to sit upright, like you have really pretty posture in a chair. Okay, that's one version. And then the other one I like, and we'll just do a different foot one than Stacy did so that you have options to play with at home. First position. All that means is heels are together, toes are apart into like a pizza slice. And we are going to use the bar here. So let me pull Stacy over. And you can face the camera. Her heels are together, toes are apart, and then when she sits down, her knees are actually going to turn out. I don't want her to go crazy low, because her heels will start to come up, or I'll tighten our Achilles, and then just come right back up. Yep, just like so. So you'll know she's staying nice and, go down one more time, she's staying nice and long through her low back, and then come back up. Now what's great about these is when you add the releve, it's just a fancy word for lift your heels up, is all that really means. You get so much more out of it. I love doing things on tiptoe because you get the ankle manipulation and you can get a little bit deeper without compromising your knees. So if you do have knee issues, a lot of times it's better to come up on tiptoes. All right, so now she's going to sit back into it in that nice heels together, toes apart position and come up and lower one more time. Stay here. And this is where you can have fun at home. You can do little up and down pulses. You can pull your knees in and out. You can play with different leg stuff here to really challenge yourself. And then come back up. Perfect. Perfect, perfect. And of course you can do closed parallel, feet apart. You can play with them. We just wanted to show you different feet position and options that you can do at home. So as you've been trying these with us, we want you to pick out which one was the most challenging for you, because our bodies always like to go to the path of least resistance. So don't do the one that you've already mastered. And then Stacey's going to tell you about our monthly squat challenge.
So for our challenge, we're going to challenge you to start out a 30-day squat challenge. So day number 1, you're going to do 25 squats or plies. So this is
whichever one was hardest for you out of that whole set.
Right. So choose your one that's hardest. You're going to do 25 of those on day 1, and then each day thereafter, you're going to add 5 more. So from day 1 to day 30,
it adds up pretty quickly.
It adds up. And then you will see a dramatic difference in your lower body. Absolutely. I promise. So what we're going to do here is we're going to want to know what's going on with you. So leave a comment below and let us know how it's going.
Which are your favorites? Maybe you have an issue with one and you're like, I'm not quite feeling it right, it's hurting something, and we'll try to steer you in the right direction.
Definitely. So we're challenging you. We're doing it as well. So we'll be right along there with you.
Yep.
And then you'll be seeing us in our next introductory video.
See you guys.
Bye.